Who am I speaking with?
Shane Mauss.
And Shane, you are what?
I'm a professional comedian who has been on the TV.
Yeah, has your Comedy Central special aired yet?
Yeah, it aired last year, last April, and it re-airs a fair amount. You can watch it online for free. Technology, internet, free content for everybody. You can see me on Conan on the internet, past performances, Jimmy Kimmel, Showtime, all sorts of stuff for free. Isn't the internet wonderful?
All right.
Why am I still doing a cheesy? I don't know why I'm still doing a cheesy voice to you. I start talking about computers and such, and then I start talking like a robot.
You don't have to do that. Talk like yourself. Use your traditional comedic timing that you would use on stage.
I kind of sound like a robot anyway, talking like I don't try to. I just sort of sound like that, and then people put comments on my YouTubes and go, this guy's all monotone, and I don't like listening to that. I don't know. I don't try to do it that way. It's just how I talk.
All right. So let's talk about how you're building your audience with social media. What channels you have? When did you start it? What kind of effort and work you're putting into it to essentially build your career using the social media channels?
Yeah, I wish I was intelligent. I'm not. I use Twitter and Facebook a bunch. I just use a program called TweetDeck where I go in and I put a bunch of jokes in and I just have it release 6 jokes a day for me. Like every 4 hours, it releases a joke, and hopefully people retweet it or like it, and then other people see it, and then once in a while I can plug my club dates or whatever. Not too much, try not to annoy people. And so I use that to try to build up a fan base, and I also use it to test out a lot of material, and it's fun.
So when you're testing material on, do you just, by the number of reactions, you just say, okay, that's a good joke, and if you get 0 reaction, you dump it?
If I get 0 reactions, I don't necessarily dump it, because sometimes it's just like, 140 characters aren't enough. If it's a 2-minute long bit or whatever, me trying to sum it up just didn't happen to work. Sometimes it gets an enormous response. I'm like, well, this should work on stage, and it doesn't. So I never know, but it gives me a little bit of an indicator. It gives me a little bit of a boost in confidence in some things that I was like, well, I wasn't going to use that on stage, but now it got such a good reaction, maybe I'll try it.
So when you're writing jokes for Twitter, have you found that this has changed your own writing? Because, Twitter forces us to write one-liners. Have you found yourself doing more of that?
Yeah, I started out as a one-liner comedian, so I was built for Twitter. But I started doing longer things and telling stories and stuff, and then the Twitter thing happened, and so I went back to one-liners again, and so now that's back. My style keeps on going up and down.
Have you done any blogging? Because you could do story-oriented stuff in blogging.
Yeah, I just sounds like a lot of time. I don't want to, like, stories like that I want to save for the stage, because it's just a lot of content to be putting out there and burning, and I want to use it on stage. So.
Okay, no, totally understand. And then also you're using Facebook. Explain how you're using Facebook and engaging with your fans.
Oh, the exact same way, but I actually like Facebook a lot more, because I don't really understand Twitter enough, and I don't I don't follow conversations that well on it. But Facebook, it's all like a thread. So I post something, someone comments on it, I can comment on their comment, and everyone can see the entire conversation. That's what I love about it. And so I'm way more interactive on Facebook. I wish it was still a super hip thing. Everyone wants to find the next hip thing. I love Facebook. I hope it stays around and people just keep using it. It's my favorite one.
Well, you should know it's still pretty hip, so don't worry about it. It's not going away anytime soon.
Facebook's still doing okay for itself, but if the past is any indicator of the future, it will eventually go away.